Somebody hit me. Let's do the AFC. What's the scores and go through the score and the
All right,
and the notables.
So we're going to start off real quick. New England goes to Kansas City, dishes out a fresh L. I'm going to hit the New England stats, and I'm going to let Jason take the Kansas City stats, and we're going to go from there.
All right.
The great Tom Brady, arguably the greatest of all time. Somebody back there is moaning and groaning.
I'm right there with you, Ron.
He was 30 for 46, 348 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. On the ground, Sony Michel did damage.
Again.
Unstoppable, 29 carries, 113 yards, 2 TDs. Rex Burkhead, 41 yards, 2 TDs. I mean, it don't get worse than that. Then on top of that, if you take it to the air, Julian Edelman poured it on him in the middle of the field with the dink and the dunks. 7 receptions, 96 yards. No touchdowns, but he had major catches in this game to extend drives. Then you had your boy Gronkowski, who had a quiet game. They kept talking about him blocking all day, but
that's the man.
That's the man. Gronk had 6 receptions, 79 yards.
Big receptions.
Yeah, they were huge.
Right.
They were huge. And Tom was looking for him, too. So, on the other side, Jason, what did you see as far as stats for Kansas City?
Kansas City Chiefs, Pat Mahomes went 16 for 31, 295 yards with 3 touchdowns. Always over double touchdowns. Damian Williams had a monster of a day. Had 10 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown. Also on the air had 66 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Sammy Watkins over 100 yards, 114. Tyreek Hill only held to 1 catch for 42 yards. He had that one big play. Travis Kelce had 3 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I told Joe that the Patriots can stop Travis Kelce. They could win this game.
And
that's what they did.
Yep.
They did.
And you said, hey, if they could stop Tyreek Hill, they might just win that game.
Yeah, they did.
And they stopped both.
They stopped them
They
both.
stopped them.
They stopped them
So,
both.
looking at this game, how did you feel coming in? Did you think that Kansas City was actually going to take this? And as you watched the game, what's your feeling of what ended up happening?
You know what? I don't remember exactly what I said last week, but I'm going to guess that I was going with the Patriots just because of the veteran. And you know what? I do remember what I said last week. I said that Bill Belichick was going to change up the game plan on Pat Mahomes every 10 minutes.
And he did.
Okay? He was going to show him something in the first half, make him start feeling good about himself, and then take it away. Okay? And
He did.
He was just going to play games with him. And that Patriots going into this game, right? All you have to know is that they were coming with something for Pat Mahomes that was going to be a mental obstacle. That's all you need to know, because no one puts up mental obstacles better than Bill Belichick. What he does to rookie quarterbacks. Once we start talking about this 20-year run, and there's a lot of components to this 20-year run, but what he does to young quarterbacks is just a huge, huge part of it, because he constantly and I mean, it's common sense. There's no way this guy has seen anything near the level of what Tom Brady has seen. Nowhere near that he's seen anything near the level of a 3 or 4 year veteran has seen, a guy that's been in 2, 3, 4 playoff games. And Belichick knows it, and he goes after it, and he wins with that strategy every time. So I didn't think that they would have a chance, but it was really good to see them fight, and it was good to see Mahomes just keep coming, got better and better, and really made a game out of it and did his best. He didn't get the ball back, but when he did get the ball back at the end of regulation, he made something happen, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought he was going to pull it out and win the game, and then we would be talking about someone who was really on pace to be the GOAT.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what he did. One of the things that Belichick did to Mahomes, he iced him, like literally, like a 6-pack. Set him on the bench. Whole first half, I don't think they had the ball more than about 6 or 7 minutes, so he could never get a groove. And we would get in the game, he was showing these little exotic schemes and stuff, lining everybody up on the line of scrimmage, so he doesn't know exactly where to throw the ball. He actually, toward the end of the game, Mahomes started kind of figuring out ways to stay in there. And to be honest, I don't even know how that game made it to overtime, because that was a thorough butt whooping. Like, they handled
Pat
him.
Mahomes is so special.
Yeah.
He is.
Pat Mahomes is so special. I'm past the point of being shy about hyperbole. Never seen anything like this playing in his first 16, 17, 18 games in the NFL. Never.
I actually agree with you. That last drive that the Chiefs got back the ball, I thought that they were going to come back, and I thought Pat Mahomes was going to, lead them down the field for this game-winning score. I thought that was going to, and I also realized after the first half was done in halftime, just thinking about the game and what I saw, I realized that the time of possession, it was way off. The New England had the football a lot longer than the Chiefs. I'm looking at the stat right here. Time of possession for New England was 43 minutes. Kansas City 20 minutes.
Wow.
It was night and day. New England had no sacks. Kansas City. Matter of fact, Kansas City had no sacks. I apologize.
Right. New England had 4.
And they're one of the top defensive teams in the league for getting sacks. So they completely nullified them. And then with the running game, they gashed them and then they gassed them because by the second half they were done. Like they just gave them a steady diet of the run, and then they just dinked it.
Hold on, sorry. Go ahead.
Then they just dinked and dunked them with Edelman across the middle. All these different little sneaky plays, and they literally, I don't even think they barely threw the ball downfield, and they just really wore them all the way down to the ground. And then when KC gets in the game, their offense struggled, and like I said, somehow they made it to overtime, but. On to the next part of this game that was interesting because calls played a role in this game too.
Yep.
Let's not pretend that Tom Brady didn't have a little bit of help, in that overtime with a couple of those calls that we had. Did you see the call and what did you think about it? Especially the one, I think it was contact with roughing the passer. I think it was with blow to the head.
There was a few calls. I can't remember them all, but I think that was one of the first calls.
That was big because it was third down.
That was third down. And all he did was love tap him on the shoulder.
Yes.
And they said that his hand came up to his helmet. And I just looked at myself.
There was nothing there.
Nothing there. It is football.
Right.
There was nothing there.
Roughing the
you saw
passer?
that? Did you see Mahomes get mugged the same way?
I thought roughing the pass, you got to get slammed on the floor. Brady didn't go on the floor.
It's the Brady love, man. As soon as that hand goes up like that, it's like, oh, he's about to get hit. Whistle. That's what I think kind of happened. Then the other thing that happened, I think that the Chiefs actually did have a chance. They did have the ball in their hands a couple times to really ice this game and maybe give themselves a chance to come out with the win. But the one thing that threw me off, did you see that neutral zone infraction? The one when Brady threw the pick and then they called the ball back? Do you remember that one?
I don't remember it.
It was a play where a Kansas City player lined up in the neutral zone. Nobody knew it.
Was it fourth quarter or overtime?
I think it was. I feel like it was in. I
think I remember. It was two calls on one play.
Yeah. And but this one was the one that
it was a pass interference and a neutral zone infraction on the same play.
Was it pass interference that they went with? Was it two?
No, I think they went with the neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, because the neutral zone got him, but he had actually thrown a pick. And we thought that was just gonna go all the way back. So that was interesting. And then the Edelman ball.
Is that the one that Gronk dropped? That went through Gronk's hand and was about to be a pick?
Actually, there was the one, and the guy picked it, and he was running it back. Did you see the Edelman drop ball or ball he didn't touch or whatever? Did you think he touched that ball on the punt or the kick?
Yes. I don't recall. I didn't pay much attention to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you think he touched it?
I think he touched it. From different angles, you see different things. But in my estimation, the call was he scored a touchdown. They reversed the call from what I remember.
They
reversed the call.
They reversed it. So they were saying that he touched it and was a touchdown, but then they had to go and
look at it and
review it.
See, my thing is though, when you're watching an NFL game, they always say, okay, there's not enough to review. There's not enough to prove to reverse the call.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if the call was initially a touchdown, you had to get enough proof to reverse it. So my thing is he did touch it because you saw the thumb or the material on the glove go a little bit back from one angle. Now from another angle, it looks like he doesn't touch it at all. But that was facing the front. If you're facing the side and it looks like you touched it, you got to go with that. You got to stick with the call. You can't reverse the call.
No, you're 100% right.
There's not enough proof for that.
Yeah. Well,
a little bit of luck played into this game.
I know this. Belichick owns Andy Reid, and they need to go back and figure out what's going on with defense because my boy asked me, "Are they playing a cover 2 defense?" I was like, "No, it's a cover no one.
It's a cover no one.
It's a cover no one defense because they couldn't stop
cover
the pass,
0,
the run, or anything." But here's the other thing. Coming back to you, Joy, because you were talking about Mahomes. Imagine this concept: Pat Mahomes is going home in the offseason to get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's going home to get better.
But you know what? It's weird because there's, adding components to your game when you are the guy that actually has all the components to your game. So it's like you go home every summer to add something, to get a little bit better. Potentially, let me get a little bit stronger so I can have some stronger arm strength.
Faster.
Let me get my feet a little bit quicker. Let me do this, let me do that to get a little bit better. He has all of those components. So only thing that's left on the table for him is continuing to get smarter. So while everybody's working on physically becoming better, he's in the film room getting smarter. He's just going to be...
He can be a problem.
He's going to be hard. His body is perfect.
I got a quick question.
His body's perfect.
What do you guys think about Damian Williams? I won't spend too much time, but what do you guys think about Damian Williams, the running back? Do you guys think they're going to keep him or bring in another person to kind of put a dual threat in the backfield, or you think he's going to take the job for next season? He's doing an excellent job.
Well, they're going to keep two running backs regardless. Yeah. Their whole system now is spread out with multiple offensive position players. So
and they always have multiple running backs.
Right now in the NFL, you play two running backs unless you have one special, right? And even when you have one special, you still want to play two.
And that's my question. Do you think Damian Williams is that special person for the Chiefs?
No.
Nah.
You don't think so?
They didn't do it. If they had Kareem Hunt, they still went with two. They went with 2, 3, 4 backs.
Yeah.
So they're never.
Kareem Hunt would have made a difference in this game.
Right.
He would have made a big difference.
Kareem Hunt would have made a big difference.
He would have made a difference.
Made a big difference. So, but real quick before we go into the next thing, he's in line. Mahomes is in line for the first $200 million deal. Everybody believes that's coming up in the next couple years.
After what they paid Derek Cousins?
Yeah, he's about to get that.
Listen, what else do you need?
Yeah.
When we were talking about it while it was happening in the clutch moments of that game when he had the ball, and I'm literally like, as you start to consider all the possibilities, you're like, yo, this kid can literally do everything. He can literally do every possibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
No look
You know what I'm saying? Right. Everything that you need to make a play in clutch moments of a game, he can do. There's no blocking his throwing lane. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you can do. There's no keeping him in the pocket. There's no chasing him down. You know what I mean? He'll be on the run with you breathing on his neck and then throw it behind himself to open on the other side of the field.
You can't even jump to block his passes.
Every potential outcome he can provide. Yeah. No one else can do that.
I want to put out one thing. I did see one thing that I think he could improve on.
Okay.
His pocket presence. And I think that, and statistics show that this season he actually played better in the pocket than outside of the pocket. His highlights were outside of the pocket. However, when you look at the way that Brady is able to always maneuver in the pocket, just a little shoulder shimmy, he stays in there.
Right.
Just because he's a young quarterback, I think he can get better at that instead of taking off on a run.
He needs Brady's line.
But does he need to? But does it?
Brady's line is nice.
Jason, does he need to? Because the quarterback that is forced to stay in the pocket, whose mobility consists of just a sidestep left, a sidestep right, a step up, and possibly a step back. Their mobility is a joystick. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it.
Yep.
Okay? That guy is still going to only have limited time to pass. All he's going to do is turn a 2.5 second pattern into a 3.5 second pattern at best before he has to lay down. Patrick Mahomes can take that and turn it into a 4-second play.
Yeah.
And when he does that, he's capable of making throws that physically aren't possible. So everybody remains open because the guy would be blind to everyone else, he can see.
Well, what happens when they rush him up the middle like they did?
Nothing stops him.
They stopped him, though.
But
the Pats, the Belichick had him rush up the middle. He was running out of the pocket.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that if he had a little bit more of Brady's instinct to show the shimmy, pocket presence, just move over, because sometimes all you need is that left step.
Right.
You don't need the whole.
But at the same time, you're saying Belichick took that away. He took that away by coming up the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Belichick wanted to put him on the run, basically, is what you're saying. I'm just picking this up from you.
Yep.
The fact that he's coming up the middle, he's rushing up the middle, means he's trying to send him out the flanks.
Yes.
on purpose.
Mhm.
So he knows what he's doing
Yeah.
specifically. So
Yeah.
normal person would be scared. Don't let this guy run. He's going to extend the play and throw a touchdown.
Yeah.
But, they had a plan.